One thing that I've seen a lot is after a YouTube creator has started up a successful YouTube channel, their next transition to grow their audience moves to the podcast world. So let's talk about the 3 ways that you can start a successful podcast as a YouTuber. Hey everyone, I'm Connor Wangner, and today's guest is Chris Wright, and this is Video Strategy to Go, where we give you quick video tips and tricks in less than 3 minutes, so you spend less time watching and more time creating. So Chris, as someone that does podcasting full time,
Yes.
What are 3 good tips that you can give YouTube creators to start a YouTube podcast?
All right, so the first thing I want you to do is keep your audio in mind. Your viewers on YouTube have context for the sounds that they hear or the road noise that they hear if you're in a car, large room, something like that. On a podcast, your listeners aren't going to have that context. So at least provide that for them. Say, hey, we're talking in a car right now, or try to cut that down as much as possible while using good gear and good audio recording techniques.
So whenever YouTube starts podcasting, is the audience automatically going to switch over, or is it a completely different audience?
Your audience could possibly be completely different, and that's my second point. You need to know that your podcast listeners don't even know who you are or what you do, what this podcast is. You need to explain all that to them as much as you can.
And so a lot of YouTube creators make short content. How's that going to translate over to the podcast world?
There are a variety of different podcasts, but in general, podcasts are usually more long form, and their release schedules are different from YouTube. So if you do what Connor tells you to do and release 3 videos every week at least, that's an odd release schedule for a podcast. And so think of what can you do on a weekly basis, make it regular, make it the same day so that it can fit into the habits of your listener's life.
So recap, the first thing is keep your audio in mind. The second thing, your audience is not going to be the same as your YouTube audience. And lastly, make sure you're catering to the viewing, listening habits on both platforms and not try and make one thing that works on YouTube work on the podcast side of things as well. And I want to thank Chris Wright for being on this episode of Video Strategy to Go. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave any questions that you have in the comment section below. See y'all.